Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this Infor Fashion PLM webinar, the top 10 reasons to trade up to Infor Fashion PLM. The speakers today are Anne Mullins, a PLM solution consultant and expert at Infor, Robert McKee, Senior Director, Industry Strategy for Fashion and Retail, and myself, Andrew DL, from the Industry and Solution Strategy team. We're going to talk and show you a little bit about Infor Fashion PLM, which is our new PLM solution. It's been in the market for about 18-24 months now. It's had a very aggressive roadmap. It's a new solution that's been built on new modern technology, but leveraging our pedigree in the industry from products such as Freeboarders and Quest. So an exciting product that a lot has been built into over the last 18-24 months, and hopefully we'll show you some of that in the next few minutes. We've been getting very positive feedback from the analysts. We're very proud of this, that have been endorsing the work that we've done on Infor Fashion PLM. So the agenda we're going to go through now is a short overview of Infor Fashion PLM from Anne. I'll then talk to you briefly about the trade-up program, what's involved, what the terms are. Bob McKee will talk to you about the top 10 reasons to trade up. We will then summarize and wrap up the webinar for today. So over to you, Anne. I'll just pass you the ball.
Infor Fashion PLM is built with efficiencies to help you deliver better products to consumers faster while shaving unnecessary costs. Use its 3 modules to plan, design, develop, and source multiple collections in parallel while streamlining collaboration. Design better products and faster with Infor Fashion PLM's configurable grids, contextual info panes that reduce navigation, Adobe plugin for designers, mass create and editing capabilities, critical path dashboards, and configurable ad hoc and pre-designed reporting. A browser-based portal for external partners facilitates supply chain collaboration. Suppliers receive specs and requests for pricing, samples, lab dips, testing, and can provide information such as cost quotes and comments. All information is archived for historical reference in one place, and email notifications keep partners informed of new activity directed toward them. When you plan your collection budgets and line assortments, you can better ensure the right product mix and margins. Define and then fill style place markers and line plans with a mix of new designs and styles that are already in PLM, and reduce overdevelopment. When initiating a new collection, Fashion PLM enables planners to enter or import the sales budget via drag and drop, and merchandisers to work concurrently with design on line assortment planning with the ability to map designs to line plan slots, and also to push concept slots out to product development to become styles. This tight integration and real-time visibility to plan versus development helps everyone to keep a balanced assortment and budget as lines are created. Designers can create, edit, and delete styles directly from Adobe Illustrator with the Fashion PLM extension. Assign images to various sections of the spec, utilizing the layers and sublayers in Illustrator, and also add notes to the images and the overview information. When we look at this same style in Fashion PLM, this is the images page of the spec, and you can see that the images go to different sections, which then we can print out to various pages of the spec pack report, and also to the overview, colorways, measurements, care and content pages. So really we can cover all images and design information from Illustrator. Now we can also create styles right within Fashion PLM the traditional ways, from scratch, copy, create carryovers and variations. We also have the capability to mass create styles, and I'm going to open up a layout that I've saved for this purpose. And a layout is a combination of different panes and panels that we use together to do a certain task, and we can save them as individual users to reuse over and over, and I like to use this one when I mass create styles. So what I'm going to do is create some styles. I have a template set up for making T-shirts, for example. So the same body, different fabrics, for example, and then I'm using a template for that, and I'm going to create 3 new styles, and basically I'm pulling data from a few different sources here, the suppliers from one style, the critical path calendar or time and action calendar from the latest season, and then I just have to pick colors from a style that I'm running recently that I want to use. So we've got information panes over on the right that we can open and view details about styles here. And it saves a lot of navigation, and I can see the images and the colorways, for example, here, and look at the colorways of some styles and pick the ones that I want to copy. And I'm going to just use these bright colors for this group of styles and just drag that in and execute my new styles. So I've done that, and now I'm just going to do a quick search for my new styles. I call them all new. And once they get created, they'll show up, and here they are. And they're all identical right now. And one of the things that we can do at this point is the designers can then pick up these styles in Illustrator, and they can add the design images to them because they'll have access to them now. We can also simply add the images directly to Fashion PLM via drag and drop. So for this first style, I'm going to use these 4 images and just drag them into the style. And you can see them all here, and we can view the different images. So as you can see, these panes are not just for viewing information, they're also for editing the styles. Another thing I can do is add colorways to some of these. So, for example, I want to add additional colors to these 2 styles. I select them, and then I'm going to open the color library and pick a few more colors to add to them. So quick and easy, and very little navigation to get a lot of work done here. Now, once I've got my styles ready to request the proto samples, I can also do that in mass. Select my 3 styles, do a mass request for whatever type of sample or costing or both that I want to request, and pick the spec pack pages I want to send and send that off. Now, our suppliers will receive an email notification that includes the request, information, and also attachments of the spec information, and they can go ahead and make the samples. And they can also go to the portal and have all that information here for them so it doesn't get lost in their email silos. And their pending requests will be right here on a home page that they can access very quickly and easily. And then they can collaborate with us over the web and give us information such as sample measurements, sample sending dates. They can send comments back and forth with us and drag and drop images and attachments to share quickly and easily over the web. Now going back to Fashion PLM, I've got now a line review meeting coming up. And because the grids are so configurable, we can add and remove whatever fields we want, move them around, and save different configurations for different needs. I use it for ad hoc reporting. And so I'm going to open up a grid, actually a saved grid, that I use for line review. And this one is grouped. It's filtered down to our current season, and it's grouped by category. And then I'm going to print that out to send off to the team to review the styles before we sit down to look at them. So we can export them to Excel, we can email them out to different formats, and so forth, and save them locally. Now we've had our review meeting, and we decided on some of these styles that were concepts to adopt them into the line and go into development. So again, from the style grid, I can select the styles that we decided to go forward with and change their status to in development. Quick and easy. Now, the sales team likes a more graphic representation of the line to show customers or to review internally. For that, we can use reports. In that case, I'll select the styles that I want to put into a report and print that out. These reports come with Fashion PLM, and then you can redesign them and you can create your own as well with the built-in report designer. I'm going to show you one example of a collection overview. We also have all the different spec pack reports here as well. And there's an example of that. Another grid that I like to use is one that gives me visibility to our progress of product development. I'm going to open up that one, and with that grid, what I have in it in our various columns that are looking at the critical path calendars or time and action calendars on each of our styles, and I can see at a glance if any styles are lagging behind, and I can follow up on those with with sending comments to owners, reassigning owners and responsibles and so forth, and then also following up myself as a user on the task list and completing various tasks on the style from here. Now our home page that I just went to feeds me information all day that's up to date and helps me to prioritize my work. I have comments coming in, notifications, my task list or my team's task list, which groups tasks, all the styles that are due at the same time at a certain task, and I can work on them en masse from here. Another thing we can do is get a global view of how we're progressing with all of our product development through the critical path calendars. When I click on that, I can see all the calendars that we have run or are running now, and view the details and even edit information on them. I'm going to look at a calendar view of one right now, but we can look at multiple at a time if we want as well. And what we're seeing here are the milestones within the calendar, and they're color-coded based on how they're progressing. And I can see the final line review is running late, so I'm going to double-click on it and drill down into it and view the various tasks that we have to complete to do our final line review. And I can see everything's running a little bit late. And if I click on the red bar on any one of these tasks, then I can see the actual styles that are running late and work on them from here. Change owner assignments or send a comment out to the responsible right from here and ask them to follow up on this and so forth. So with new Fashion, Infor Fashion PLM, you can determine the right product mix and margins in parallel to design and streamline supply chain collaboration and increase speed and agility and expand visibility. And now I'm going to hand it back to Andrew to tell you a little bit more about the trade-up program.
Thanks, Anne, for a great demo. The Infor Fashion PLM trade-up program is for freeboarders and runtime customers. So if you're a maintenance-paying customer of freeboarders or runtime, there's an offer in place where you can get similar functionality on a one-to-one user basis. If you need additional functionality beyond what you have today, you can pay for that. So that's optional to add on additional functionality in Infor Fashion PLM. If you require any third-party software to run your Infor Fashion PLM, of course that's not included in the offer price, but your maintenance rate does stay the same for the similar level of functionality. But if you add on additional functionality, maintenance will of course increase to reflect that. And in terms of getting a solution priced, because obviously this helps you a lot with the license cost of moving to the fantastic new solution. But for the services side, Infor Services and our PLM partners would be happy to quote. So I have a couple of slides here just to show how the SKUs work. So if you're on runtime and you have, for example, PDM Enterprise, you can swap on a one-to-one basis your users for Infor Fashion PLM product development module. And likewise, Collection Planner swaps over to Merchandise Planner. And here's the slide for Infor Fashion PLM for the freeboarders customers. So depending on which SKU, depends on what you can swap to. And for some, you're getting more functionality, so there is an additional charge there per user. But we can work through all of that with you. So at this point, I'm going to hand over to Bob McKee, who's going to talk to you about the key reasons to upgrade. So over to you, Bob.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Let's take a look at the reasons why we should upgrade. Like any good list, of course, we came up with a top 10. The reasons why we think that it's a good idea to trade up. Certainly, we have given this a lot of thought. We have taken a look, and in some degree of order, the number one reason that we think that you should look at trading up from the existing PLM system that you're on to the new fashion PLM is an industry-leading user experience. You could certainly see from what Ann was showing that we've come a long way, and we have a nice mix of both graphical and text-based items in the user experience. It's definitely designed to work the way you live in the industry. And whether you're a designer, a technical designer, a concept designer, you're a merchandiser, you're the sourcing head of sourcing or a sourcing individual that's working with the new products, you can see that the ease of use is top in the new features that exist. Of course, the new system comes with Adobe plugin. It's bidirectional. It works both ways, to the PLM and from the PLM to Adobe and from Adobe. You can plan and develop more intuitively. One of the things that we were focused on was making sure that we took into consideration the needs of a number of different areas when it comes to not only the planning side, but the execution side, from the designer from the concept designer to the technical designer to the merchandiser to the sourcing area, even through to the salespeople that have to interoperate with the new product development. So planning becomes a critical part, whether you're planning lines, planning collections, planning assortments, even planning the distribution. Also, one of the things that we built into the new system is the ability to create mass updates. You can create in mass, you can update in mass, you can delete in mass, you can replace in mass. As we know in this industry, we're dealing with lots of different things, and having to change a single label across all the collections or lines or assortments that's being used in can be incredibly time-consuming. In numbers of systems, you don't think about it, but you forget that you're going to have to go through and change every single one and every single occurrence. Well, we've created that mass capability. Also, the ability to create your sample purchase orders directly from the PLM system. When you're creating your samples, you're working with a new supplier or a supplier on a particular new design. Create the order right there. Of course, going along with that is vendor collaboration, the ability to deal with your vendors in that iterative process that we have that goes along with the creation of new products, whether it's how to make the new product or how to cost the new product. That back and forth process of the creation of a new item and getting it costed down to where it has to be for the commercialization of the product. We also included critical path management, which give us the ability to track on dashboards just how well we're doing against our plan. Are things flowing the way they should? Are they getting held up behind a particular item or a characteristic? Is it a particular department that has a shortfall in pushing things along properly? That gives us the ability then to focus our attention and perhaps add the support that we need or move resources over to make sure that things flow in the way that we have to in order to meet our end result of getting the collection out on time. Now, all this leads to something that's very important, which is faster user adoption. We built all the new characteristics into the system to create a system that would allow for a much more intuitive and a comfort level where users can come in and go, okay, that makes sense, and immediately feel comfortable using the new fashion PLM and take off and run with it very quickly. Of course, the system includes reporting that's built in, the ability to create standard reports. We've created a report developer, a report designer, which of course creates that ability to have reports, create new reports, and certainly lower your cost of ownership, not having to get anyone else in to build your reports for you. And integration capabilities, flexible for easy connection to other data systems. We use an integration toolbox that allows you to connect Fashion PLM to ERP systems or even other data systems that are your system of record. Those are the top 10 reasons as we see them, and I will pass the presentation back over to Andrew so that he can wrap up for us.
Thanks very much, Bob. Yes, so really just in summary, we wanted to summarize a modern Fashion PLM solution, and I think you saw what a strong industry-leading user experience we have from the demo that Anne gave. So fantastic new solution on modern technology. We've got an attractive trade-up program in place that's exclusive to our existing customers, so this really is a great offer. And really, next step is contact your account manager, and we'll work with you to start analyzing your needs and help you build your business case for transitioning across onto Infor Fashion PLM. And I think Bob gave you some great reasons there to think about and to start building your business case. So on behalf of the team here today, I'd like to thank you very much for listening. Thank you.